So let's talk about these people. They're having an affair at a Coldplay concert, typical, white wine mom and golf father thing to do. Very typical, very unsurprising. Obviously, where this gets interesting is the whole panopticon of it all, is that we've known for a few years that life now means everything is on camera and that everything is sort of recorded and broadcast. And that is a great thing when, people are marching for equal rights and people are marching to sort of change the world, or, point out a sort of bad actor happening locally and sort of applying a bit of justice. It feels really good. That's what TikTok is really good at. Where this gets bad is that now, you used to get canceled for you actively doing something bad. I think the classic example, I'm forgetting the woman's name, I think her name is Justine Saka, maybe, something like that, where she tweeted when she got on a plane something I'm going to Africa, I'm not going to get AIDS or something like that, something really insensitive and awful. And by the time she landed, that tweet had gone viral and she ended up losing her job. It was a whole thing. It was this was over a decade ago, I think. It became a sort of classic case of what cancellation looks like. And that was proactively done. She didn't mean for it to go viral. And, she's done many interviews about this over the years that she didn't even mean for it to be seen by anybody. It was a really bad joke and it caught wind. The rest is history. She lost her job. She sort of built herself back up and talked about it because it's a really fascinating thing. But anyway, the thing that happened with that is she put herself out there. She proactively did that. Cut to this couple, they did not necessarily proactively put themselves out there. You know what I mean? Yes, you go into any concert, you go into a show, you go into any sort of shopping mall, you sort of are waiving your right of your image. You being there and you sort of buying that ticket, in the fine print, probably in the terms of service, you are signing away your image. It's like a TV show. I used to work in TV, and when you go on set, if you are going to be on TV, you have to sign a legal document saying you're okay with your image being shared. And with concerts like this, with anything with a Jumbotron, arguably anything in a shopping center, anything that has a sort of visual something, there usually is a release, it's called in the industry. A release that if you see it, that means that you're going to be filmed and someone like the band, likely whoever, is going to profit off of that. Meaning that this could happen to anybody, and they could have avoided. Yeah, they could have played it off, but they didn't. Thankfully they didn't, because it's amazing. What isn't amazing is that brands and creators and whoever are now using it as content. So this sort of worst day of your life now gets played on repeat like a Black Mirror episode. I don't think what they did is that wrong. I think I have a really sort of low bar for this shit, but I think that people being sexual and having sexual desires, be it a politician or your friend who you live with, that's not a big deal. That's between them and whoever they're sort of fucking or not fucking. That is their thing. Was problematic here to me, and 404 Media did a really good story on it. Hold on, let me show you. This story here, this is sort of the definitive encapsulation of what's happening. The Astronomer CEO's Coldplay concert fiasco is emblematic of our social media surveillance dystopia. Why is that? As I say in the piece, this is an example of something happening in real time where technology, facial recognition, Google image reverse search, this sort of true crime sensation of trying to get to the bottom of something that's happening that you're not even related to. There's otherwise private information now becoming content and entertainment that then is sort of it's sort of ruining people's lives. Obviously, the wife, she changed her name on Facebook and stuff. Boo-hoo, that's bad and sad for those three specific people and more and their families. But this all could have been avoided. We could have just let people live. And that's the issue here, is that it's just this sort of snooping and curiosity with an always on panoptic eye, meaning our phones, meaning a camera being everywhere, means that we then can have any sort of curiosity fulfilled. You can find out the answer to everything. That's true. It used to just be well, what is the oldest food known to man. Like, yeah, sure, we can look that up. And now it's like, oh, that one person who is sitting across from me in this restaurant who looks like they're cheating, I can look them up right now. And that goes viral in this app like every other month, where someone did a little bad thing and other people sort of like climb on and then like expose them. And that can be things from like being extremely racist, which is bad, all the way to like they look suspicious and they looked like they were cheating. And like that happens all the time where that gets sort of shut down. So I wrote about this not too long ago about a lot of culture now is about having a cop, a police officer inside of you, and that you are constantly acting like a police officer. And this is a great example of that, of people being cops online for no other reason than it's just sort of fun to be a cop. And I don't think that we can sort of like dismantle conservative systems and conservative ideology without, number one, getting rid of that cop inside of you. All cops are bad, even the one who lives in your head. And number two, with this sort of like techno overreach in which everybody is not only content, but everybody is surveilled. We know this, it's a nanny state. So it's entertaining, it's funny, but also like the bad news about it isn't the affair. The bad news of it is that this can and will happen to all of you. It's that tweet about climate change coming for you and you're the one holding the camera, except it's the other way around. Where like, you're gonna do something dumb in your life and it's gonna ruin your life just because you happen to exist by a camera.